be our bathroom. And then back there was two more.
Yeah, we still have the same.
Still there?
Yeah.
Well, the one on the left was only for black people. When I came in here in 1965,
It was still segregated.
it was still segregated. Big sign, to me, was a big surprise. I'm a Cuban, we didn't have that in Cuba.
Right.
And one day, without me knowing at the beginning, I just went into that bathroom.
Yeah.
And there was a guy inside, I said, what the heck are you doing in here?
That's like incredible,
So
because Miami in 1960 was still segregated, yeah.
So there was two bathrooms back there, one for, a few years later, the whole thing changed, okay? But the other one was for white people.
That's amazing that
Surprised
you
me.
witnessed that.
My God.
Is that incredible?
You know who built that thing over there? I did.
You built this?
Yeah, that's what we used to have. That's
I'm
what
not
we
going to
used,
show you behind, it's a
that's what
mess.
we used to have boxes to keep the account receivable tickets in there.
So tell us what your title was here. You
I
said you were the controller, right?
Yeah, I was a controller. Well, I wasn't the controller at the beginning. I want to give you a little history.
Okay.
This is very personal, okay? Maybe you want to turn it off. You see that that window over
Yeah.
there? One day, I came in 1963. And 2 days later after I came in, I have a friend that used to work at the Diplomat Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, as a houseman. And when I came in, the next day, I was working over there because he got a job for
You
me.
mean after you came from Cuba?
Yeah.
You came in
63.
1963.
So, next day, working. Terrific. At those times, they were terrific because Miami was a country town.
Right. I grew up in Hollywood. I
Well,
lived there in
so
1963.
you know what a diplomat is,
yeah,
right?
exactly. It was
I'm talking about the old diplomat.
It was beautiful.
But a few days later, they laid me off. Like I said, I was living closer here. So I said, no, I have to find me something else. And I started looking around. I came in here, and I knocked on that window was open. The secretary used to sit right here. Her desk was here.
And she looked out.
She told me,
You can open
this
it.
is all American people working here, okay? Girls, what do you want?
Whoops.
I said, well, I'm looking for a job. She says, oh, we don't have any jobs. So I insisted, are you sure you don't, maybe in the future you, oh, no, we don't have, she was kind of, a little too sharp. So I didn't like it much. So I left. This happened in 1963. I got that job that I took with the Diplomat Hotel. I worked over there for 2 years. And at the same time, the last 2 years, I used to work over there at daytime. And after that, I started working in the shipping department here because I found a friend that used to work in the shipping department. And he got me a part-time job here working at night. Night.
Did you meet him because he lived in the neighborhood?
No. I don't remember where I met the guy. I used to know him from Cuba. But I said, "Oh, I'm going to get you a part-time job at the bakery." So he got me a part-time. I used to come from the hotel, drive over here. Remember, there was no I-95 or nothing like that. It was just the Biscayne Boulevard, So I started working in the shipping department at 7 o'clock at night. Sometimes I work until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. American bakeries produce here bread and rolls, but the cake was produced in the Orlando plant. So every evening, between 5, 6, 7 o'clock, a trailer would come from Orlando. And our job was to pull all these boxes of cake, talking about 45-foot trailer, pull all these boxes out, place those in sequence to start serving the orders of the salesman, our salesman. Anyway, I'm trying to make this short because otherwise we'll never get out of here. 2 years later, like I said, I started working in the shipping department, part-time. I studied in Cuba accounting. I was working in the University of Havana for 3 years to be a CPA. But 5 years was the career. You have to say I studied 5
Right.
years to become a CPA. But 3 years, I couldn't stay there any longer because of the revolution. They used to come in the classrooms and make us sing the international communism and all that, and I couldn't live with that. So I had accounting background. When those people out there in the shipping department saw the way I used to count, the way I used to handle the Tinkiari machine and the calculator and all that, the people here, they said, what is this guy doing out there? So they brought me in. There was one desk sitting right here, looking at that wall, and they gave it to me. Accounting clerk. Okay? I don't want to, let me mention it to you because I took the time to write down these dates
Thank you.
chronologically. If I say something that is incorrect, I'll appreciate it if you will wipe it out, okay?
Yeah, you can edit it.
Because I don't speak a good English anyway.
Are you kidding? Your English is superb. And you speak beautiful.
Like I said, I came in, I was hired in April of 1965.
In
Hired
the shipping
in
department.
the shipping department. Shipping checker job was to make a reconciliation between the product that came from outside and the product was taken by the
Sure,
salesman.
all reconciled.
And there were 4 big pages of like this that I have to reconcile just by
Manual.
manual with a Tinkiari machine. In 1967, September of 1967, they put me in here, this accounting clerk. Okay? In 1968, April of 1968, they made me assistant plant controller.
Wow.
In June 1st of 1969, they made me plant controller. In September of 1978, they sold the flowers. And in July 1998, they transferred me to the other plant. Going back
Wait,
to
what year, July when? What was the last date?
78.
78.
Let me go back to this door over here, the window. There was about 12 people working in here. 12 people. And this lady, I never forget her name. Well, she worked for me later on for many years. But this lady, Maxine Hilden, I'll never forget her name. I was her boss later on. I used to tell her.
She was the one who told you to go away.
She
there's
laughed.
No,
No,
job.
no, she laughed. She said, "You turned me down. You turned me down right there." Anyway,
What comes
I
of
used to be in my office. That is the original cash register that we had over here, believe it or not. I mean, I'm
safe.
talking the safe. On the other side of this, there was a sales department checkup room where they come in,
Well, we can show you after what's there, but I could. There.
and there used to be a box over here in the other side, and they will drop the money there, and we'll bring the money just by flipping the window or the box,
Went
whatever,
into the safe.
and we'll put them in the safe after we check them out. There was desks all over here around that. And I want to tell you something else real sad. I had a wonderful employee, wonderful lady, sitting right there in front of that window, facing, all the girls were facing the windows. This lady lived in that building apartment right next to the bakery, 2-floor building apartment. Used to be lived there and had two little girls like this. Beautiful girls, beautiful. The girls were taken care of by the parents, the grandparents. They used to come, the grandmother drives. She used to bring the girls in the back. and pass by here, stop right there and say hello to mama. Okay? As it was a regular thing that was happening every day. One day, her husband killed her and the 2 little girls.
Oh my God.
That,
During work?
well, she was working here. She wasn't working here. That happened at night.
At night.
I'm sorry to bring this sad story here, but every time I come in here, I remember this lady so well.
Mm.
Well, weeks passed by, and we used to see the grandmother. She bought 2 big dolls like this, put them in the back of the truck, in the back of the car, and she used to be up and down with the 2 little girls back and forth. We used to see them. And I don't tell you any more sad stories, okay?
Yeah, that's really.
I had about 10 presidents with American Bakeries. This
You
baker-
stayed
this-
a long time, and
this
the presidents came and go. Why did they come and go?
Because the plant was losing money.
Oh.
The plant was losing a lot of money.
What was that?
Well, we had a lot of problem with the unions. We had 2 unions in here. The Bakery and Confectionery Union and the Teamsters. The Bakery and Confectionery Union used to handle the employees inside the plant, and the Teamsters used to handle the salesmen, the truck drivers and the salesmen. But this used to be the president's office. Salesman.
And then 150 fulfillment and distribution.
And we said, yeah. And we said, and the company said, well, you know, we don't have the distribution from here anymore. We're going to transfer it to the other plant. What happened? They didn't have a job in here anymore. So they went over there. They told them to go over there and apply for the job. And they hired whoever they thought it was the best. The rest of it, it was gone.
So they sucked the economy out of the company. It failed
Yeah.
and had to sell.
Yeah.
And then were there a lot of people here from the neighborhood who worked in here?
Not, there were people around here that used to work here, yes. Well, I was one of them for a while. Then I moved out of here to the southwest section. But
What do you remember your old address?
my old address? No, I passed by the house right now.
Is it on 33rd?
Yeah, on 33rd, yeah, on 33rd. A 2-building apartment.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Oh my God.
Were you happy in the days you worked here? Did you love it?
Oh yeah. I love
It was
my
a nice
job. I
company.
love the company. They treat me real good, and I don't have any complaints at all. They gave me the opportunity to start from the bottom. Okay.
And then by the time you worked your way up, little by little, you just gave up the diplomat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
away.
Once I have a full time here, I dropped the diplomat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
used
do
to
you-
I used to
okay.
wear 6.
But this was a place of production.
Yes.
So it was bread production, and now it's a place of art production.
Mm-hmm.
So why not, just curious as to what you think about what it's become. And then I want to tell you a little bit about what we're hoping to do and just sort of see what you think about it. I mean, when you walk in here, does it make you feel good it's still in use?
Oh yeah, definitely. I am not an art person, okay? I like music, but other than that, you have to excuse me.
That's okay.
I'm ignorant in reference to that. But I like to see something pretty, okay? I've been in a couple of museums in my life, France, Louvre, and in Madrid,
The Prado,
El Prado.
yeah.
But other than that, I'm not a.
But I would say it's almost a metaphor, because of the, bread, the making, the distribution, the making, the production, the distribution. So it's sort of it's a different industry here, but.
When we come into this building, if you go this way, you go to the there was a turning there, and that's where the manufacturing offices were. The person that handles the entire production. Okay. Here, over there, we had the oven, a big oven, going all the way back there.
So was this pretty much all open?
No, it was open. Oh yeah,
Totally
it's
open,
nothing
like a
this.
big open plant?
The wrapping machines were all the way lined up against that wall over there. The wrapping machines, the ones that wrap the bread and rolls, both of them. all the way down there to the end of the building, it was a shipping department, the docks.
We're gonna walk outside and show you out
Okay.
there so you can.
If you go this way, is where the divider machine was.
That's the dough divider.
The bread divider. I can show you if you go upstairs, probably the chute is still there. The divider and the proof box, because when the bread is put in shelves, the dough is put in shelves, you have to put it was like a big box, something like that, a big box, but it's a lot of humidity in there, hot humidity, what makes the bread rise like that. That's called the proof box. Then they pull the boxes out of there, the cracks out of there, and they put them inside the oven, on the other side of the oven. That the entrance was that way, the exit was this way. There was people putting them inside, and
And they came out the other end.
right now. Today, in the other bakery, that doesn't exist because everything is automated. Comes out of one place and goes right into the other. The people don't touch nothing.
Is it all done robotically?
It's done by machinery. Machinery.
Yeah.
That the company has very, very good engineers, flowers, and they build a magnificent plant out there. And if you have the time,
You should go see it.
if you have the time, you should go over there and see it. And I can talk to Georgina. Georgina is the human resource lady working over there.
Oh, we should do that. It'd be fun to see.
And she would be willing to give you a tour of the plant. They used to do that. I don't know if they do it anymore. But that is very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we go upstairs here. What's upstairs now?
Studios, but let's go.
You go ahead.
Okay.
I recall about probably 2 years, 3 years after that, they had some kind of problem with we used to have tanks for,
Cooking?
no, for gasoline, not gasoline, diesel fuel
Oh,
for the tractor trailers. And they were buried outside where the garage was, right in the back
Right.
parking lot. And they had some kind of problem with I'm talking about the city of Miami, or whoever was handling this. And we had to pay them $25,000 to remove the tanks.
yeah.
Because that wasn't
Right.
allowed to do, to leave the tanks
Right.
in there for.
Right.
And that's where they come down with the truckload, put him in there and put him in that elevator to go upstairs.
So this is the ingredients of the people here.
That's right.
So this is a lot of the works of different artists who are at Bakehouse. Some of them are not Bakehouse, but in a way, it's temporary storage.
This Saturday.
Was there a problem with
Well, to
internal
keep up,
theft and stuff? or-
we used to by inventory the ingredients. You find out if they are wasting ingredients unnecessarily, if they are making the mix.
This is so much fun. Do those look familiar?
Oh yeah. Two silos. My God.
So how did those, how did they get filled?
They pump with air. You know where the railroad is on 36th Street?
Right.
36 and I think it's 2nd or 3rd
Right.
Avenue? The railroad cars would come from Conagra. Conagra is a company that produces flour. It's a very large company. It's in the stock market and everything. Conagra will send the railroad cars. They park them over there. Have you seen those cars that they have two big tanks and then they go down like that, like
You mean the container cars for
the container cars? Yes,
Yeah.
they got big, huge things like that. But then they go down, and of course they have things how to open. They connect big hoses to it, and they pump it to a tractor trailer that also has connections on the bottom, and they, with air, they blow the flour inside the trailer, inside the tractor trailer.
Into this.
Then they come over here, they park it over here, and they do the same thing.
It's like oil, how they transfer oil to a gas station.
Well, more or less, but here he's got to be with air,
Yeah,
because the flour is, it cannot get
dry.
humid at all.
Yeah.
If it gets humid,
but it's a big production.
gone. We used to inventory this thing. Big problem.
This was just filled with air. That was it.
This
Huh?
is filled with flour.
Oh, it's filled with
These
flour.
Flour,
Oh.
puro.
Yeah, that was the whole, that's what.
They call them the bakery, and I don't know what. But these people, they shut down that bakery, also problem with the union, and they built a big bakery,
Shopping center.
a big bakery. They built a new bakery on 826, Palmetto, going south on the left side. They went and took care of the needs in the market. That's a long story. Anyway, there was. I never did this. I never unloaded the flour. Those hoses over there are the ones that used to take the flour into the building. Let me see.
I mean, now they've been cut off, obviously.
Oh yeah, no, really can't say
So
for
it's
sure.
hard to say.
But the flour went inside by pipes, blowing the same way. The mixer upstairs, because all the mixer were upstairs. When they press a button, the flour will go inside. Now the oil, the vegetable oil, and the sugar, the liquid sugar, were inside this place that we
That
just
was
left.
where the inventory was stored. Yeah.
Right. Smaller tanks than this. They were smaller, but they were in there too.
People just drove in?
They had. This is the building that I was telling you where she
Right.
lived. Okay,
Yeah.
when the lady
No,
lived.
but I mean, like we own this little land here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we bought that house. We bought that house. There was a house in there. We
Yeah.
bought it.
The bakery bought it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
You
that
know,
came
at one time in that house, they put the sales department in there.
So
They
I
used
didn't
it
know
for the
came
sales
with
department.
property.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the
So-
way, they destroyed the house, right? They
Yeah.
took it down, right?
I think that, I don't know what year it was taken down, but then
No,
I
I
thought
don't
the. So this we own that parcel.
Let me mention to you that American Bakeries Company was not a company that American Bakeries was a big corporation. The main office was in Chicago, and they had a lot of plants in the United States.
Yeah.
A lot of plants, and they were in the stock market and everything. But they had a lot of plants that they had unions in there, and those unions closed a lot of plants. They closed a lot of plants. Eventually, American disappeared from the market. Now you see these stalls? I call them truck stalls. That's where the truck used to park.
They
be-
would park there
to be loaded.
To be loaded.
We used to bring the racks from upstairs, from the dock, from the back dock, roll them down all the way down here, and the trucks were parked. Well, not this wall. They didn't have any walls in here. It's open, and behind each truck there were. I don't know if it's still there or not.
We can go look around.
But there were racks where they can slide the bread in there. And they put it right there for sale in the store. Like I said, these stalls here were built a few years after I started working in here, because the salesmen, we had so many salesmen that they couldn't work from the loading truck, the loading dock. The loading dock was not big enough.
We probably still have them.
Well, it's a wall. That's where the wall is, where the main wall is. So they open up all these too, so they can accommodate the
People worked out of these?
salesman.
Yeah.
Will bring the trucks and put them in there. Well, they were parking here after they unload them in the afternoon. In the evening, they will leave the trucks in here. They come in the morning at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they start loading the trucks to go out there in the market.
So they literally went out and took the truck around to sell?
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't like pre-sales? right now it's unproductive land. So it seems
But you're
like-
planning to leave the studios here?
Yeah, the studios will all stay. We want to just, you know, like you said, there were like 300 workers.
300
plus. So we're hoping to have 300 plus. We have like now 60 studios plus 40 artists, and we're hoping to have at least 200 housing units here.
But what part of the land are you?
All this part.
Oh, this section of it.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
would tear this down.
So the main bakery will
We'll
remain
stay,
the same
yeah,
way.
Fix it up because it needs to be restored. I mean, it needs
That's
a
a
lot of
nice idea.
renovation.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like those.
And then this would come down, and we want to tear the wall down. I mean, because when I talk to the neighbors over here and say, what do you think about, how would you feel about, you know, a couple of hundred artists living on this site? They're saying, just tear the wall down. You know, we want to create transparency. We have, you know, because this is very stay away. You know, and artists are, you know, they work, but they also want to share. So we want to create more connectivity to the neighborhood. Not everybody in the neighborhood is interested in art, but this is the only, you know, this is one of the largest civic spaces. So it's public. I mean, we're open to the public every day. So how do we become a better civic neighbor? You know?
So anybody can walk the same way I walk into the plant.
Yeah.
Anybody can walk just like that.
Yeah.
And you're not afraid that something happened. Nothing has
Nothing's
happened
happened.
before.
Every day.
Well, then I have to admit that things have changed.
Yeah. So
2 times.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my office. You're talking about 30-some years ago.
Well, you know, there was a time when it was really dangerous. When
And
the
they
artists
came in.
moved into this neighborhood, one of the reasons the city allowed them, you know, provide.
13 years.
You?
With Marita.
Oh, Dios you Merita. Oh, again.
Joe, did you work for Marita?
I live in Oro. I live in here. That's Merita.
You worked for Marita?
No, this place is named Merita.
Were you here
No,
then?
no, no. Before place named Bakery. After that, I got Merita.
Yeah.
After that, I got.
You work for Marita?
No, I work in there.
You were after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merita. You got. You're working for. You got Merita.
Right.
One of the artists here, we asked him to take pictures of all the people here because mostly people know the building. But it's the people in the building that are the story. And the people who've made, you know, you're the story. The
These are
people who
beautiful
animated.
pictures, beautiful
But look at all
pictures.
these. These are all the people.
Did these people work for?
Everybody, they have they're like their own entrepreneur. They have a space. They do whatever they want in it.
But
Hopefully they sell.
they work. They have clients. They have people.
They
that
have
work for.
collectors, some of them sell more than others, but they make art their full-time work. Sometimes if they don't make enough money making art, they take other types of jobs, like, you know,
Do they work for individuals?
they work for themselves.
for themselves.
Yeah. So
but
like-
my question is, say I want to photograph with my wife right now.
Yeah, they would do that.
They would do
You
that.
could get this, yeah. So you could come and ask, we have, you know, like this photographer is fabulous.
These are beautiful
And he could
pictures.
do,
What kind of material is this?
this is just, he just lit it. It's all just printed on
Oh, I see.
photographic paper, and he goes in and he does gel lighting. And he wanted to capture each artist to show, you know, to capture an idea of what the artist does in their studio.
Do you have to put the glass in front of this?
Not
or-
this.
No.
No. You could, but we
I
didn't.
like this. I like it.
Come see the rest, there's more. So this gives you an idea of what's happening in the building there. So if we build housing, then there'll be more people who are able to work and make things, and, you know, so we have people working metal. And this is Juan. She does photography, drawing.
She's a painter,
And she does mostly, she does ceramic, and she also does illustration.
and all of them are still active
Everybody's
in here?
active here. See, there's more, there's not even all here. We still have about another 15 to put up. But because they're not, you know, originally in the early days of the Bakehouse, it wasn't so expensive to live in Miami, and artists were here more during the day. So when people came, most of the artists were here. now, you know, because it's so expensive to live here, they have to have other jobs during the day, and they come at night, they come on the weekend.
And when people comes over here with an interest to buy something,
Yeah.
other than